Well, okay. I hate when it says low internet connection, like right when I start the live stream, and then like my heart starts palpitating, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But it says connection's perfect. So here we go. Hey, you guys. I hope you're having an amazing Monday. I am doing a live stream from my bed because I'm not feeling that well today. And I was like, you know what? I can still talk to people. Like, it's fine. So we'll see how it goes. But that's why I am live streaming from my bed. And actually, it was a very good decision because it's so comfy. And yeah, I might just be doing this more often. So if you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments with hashtag replay. And let me know where you're chiming in from. Like I said, I'm chiming in from my bed, so here I am. If you're watching this from your bed too, let me know in the comments. But anyways, I got this question from one of you guys that I asked you what you're struggling with, and you said that you struggle with making your feed consistent and beautiful. So if you're currently struggling with this, let me know in the comments by just typing a 1. If this is something that you've been, struggling with or just like not getting down pat. But I have 2 tips for you guys to focus on if you're struggling with making your feed consistent and beautiful. So I'm just going to pick Instagram because that's usually what you guys are talking about when you guys ask me questions. So a lot of the times when we, as creative entrepreneurs, when we go onto Instagram, we have all of these ideas. We want to be involved with like 500,000 niches because, we love cooking, but we also, love working out, and we love traveling the world, and we love doing this, that, XYZ, 1, 2, 3. We love doing all the things, right? And that was me. I was like that. And then it wasn't until I niched down into a super specific topic where I was getting a lot more attention with the way that I took my photos. So one key thing to remember is that being consistent on Instagram isn't always about color. Okay, it can be the layout of your photos, how you take your photos, like the type of camera that you use. It can be the way that you filter your photos, which I get has to do with color. But I think a lot of people, when they think of Instagram, it has to be like black or white. Okay, so when I say the first tip that you should focus on if you're struggling with consistency and making a beautiful feed is color, don't take it as black and white. That doesn't mean like every other color you do pink, white, pink, white, pink, white. Okay. Like let's just say if you're doing quotes, right? It just means you need to use the same type of filter or type of camera or styling of the way that you create your photos when you create your consistent feed. So the 2 tips that I have for you to, focus on if you're struggling with creating a consistent Instagram feed and you want to make it beautiful is you want to focus on color and perspective. Okay, I want you guys to write that down. So what I mean by color is not a like opaque pink photo and then an opaque pink white photo, and then flip-flopping it, okay? It's not as extreme because then you're just going to be boring, right? And you're going to look like every other quote page on Instagram. So some things that you need to do in order to know which type of color or font you can do, filter is what I wanted to say. In order to know what you like, you need to look for somebody that's doing what you already like. And you're not going to copy them, but you're looking to see what other people like as well. Because the thing is that if you try to be the masterpiece of everything and you're just like, I'm going to do something no one's done before, I want to do this, and then you start putting it out there and you realize nobody likes it, just because you like it doesn't mean that the market likes it, okay? So what I recommend doing is market research. So what you're going to do is you're going to, go to people. It doesn't have to be in your niche. It can be in any niche, right? You just want to see which layouts you like the best, right? And not only do you like it, other people are already liking it as well. And you can tell by the amount of followers that person's getting or the amount of likes that a picture is getting as well. So in order to create a beautiful, consistent feed on Instagram, you need to stick to the same-ish color scheme, okay? And this is for people that are just starting out. They don't know where to start, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if you already have like 20,000, 30,000 followers on Instagram, I'm just going to assume that you know what you're doing, and you don't always specifically need to have the same color every single picture, okay? This is just for people just starting out and they're trying to make a beautiful, consistent theme that looks pleasing to the eye. So the first thing you need to do is you need to find a color scheme or a way to take a photo that that is visually appealing and also is aesthetically pleasing. So that, like I said, that doesn't always mean pink, white, pink, white, pink, white. It can be, but that's the extreme, okay? Hi, Jade. Jade says I look so cozy. I actually am. I was saying I don't feel that well right now, so I'm doing a bed rant. But yeah, it is super cozy. And I was like, you know what? I actually need to start doing live streams from my bed from now on. I'm like really zen right now, and it feels good. So anyways, the first one is color, and the second one is perspective. So a lot of times it's like, okay, we have the same color. Maybe we know our brand colors. Let's just say they're pink and white, okay? And what we do is like we do the same picture every time we post. So for example, it could be like selfie, 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 selfie with the same filter, all right? But the problem with that is like it's not pleasing to the eye when you look at the 9-picture perspective on Instagram. So when you go on the Instagram, you see like 9 pictures at a time, you know? You see, or unless you're at the top of the page, it's like the bio and then the first 3 pictures. So what I mean by perspective is you want to switch it up. Like you want some that are like zoomed out, then zoomed in, and then a selfie, and then like, because the way that you look at an Instagram layout, it's not like you don't want to see the same type of zoomed in picture every single time that you post because it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing, okay? And another person asked a really great question on another live stream. They asked if like the X layout, so for example, if you wanted to do like pink, white, pink, white, pink, white, if that's still trending or a thing. And I think that's an amazing way to start laying out your Instagram because it looks aesthetically pleasing. So when people come to your Instagram, if they're not necessarily captivated by what you're saying at first, they will be visually captivated by the layout of your Instagram. They're going to see that you're taking the time to do pink, white, but they don't think that way. They just see that it's like an X pattern or like maybe it's like a zigzag like this. You can really make it any way that you want. But I think that's an amazing way to start making your Instagram more aesthetically pleasing, especially if your ideal client is coming to your profile for the first time, okay? Because that does captivate people. Like, I feel like whenever I'm stuck in wondering, like, especially during the creative process, like, what do I want? Like, what do other people like? I always go back to what do I like seeing from other people? Because if I like seeing a certain type of layout from somebody else, I should start emulating that, okay? I'm not going to copy them, but it's something that I should take note of. So that's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to go out on Instagram, take 30 minutes, take an hour to really search. Notice how I didn't say 5 minutes, okay? Take time to search the platform for popular accounts and literally write down what you love about these accounts. Do you love how they have longer captions? Do you love how, you know, all the pictures are taken with a GoPro? Do you love how they're all like brighter photos? Or do you like how they're all black and white? It's really up to you, but you can write down what you like and then you can see what type of patterns you keep writing down, right? And then that's how you can start making your feed beautiful and consistent, is by focusing on colors and perspective of the picture, right? Because what we don't want to do is we don't want to have like our colors, not necessarily, and when I say colors, I don't mean like just pink or white. I mean the filter or whatever you decide, whether you want like brighter photos or darker colored photos, saturation, no saturation, brighter photos or darker photos. That's what I'm talking about when I mean colors. It's like what captivates your eye aesthetically, okay? And then on top of that, you need to look at the perspective of the photos. So whether that's doing like an X layout where it's like black, white, black, white, black, white, or when you take the picture, whether you're like zoomed out like this, or you can be like zoomed all the way in, okay? Because that also catches other people's attention, is the perspective of the photos, showing the detail, but then also showing the bird's eye view. So I could go all day long about this, but I just wanted to give you guys 2 quick tips on how to really nail down a beautiful feed. And it typically comes down to the filter or color to be consistent and the perspective of the photograph. And not just one, because remember, when people look at an Instagram feed, they're not looking at one picture at a time. So you need to make sure that when you're planning your images out, like whether that's like, you can still take pictures in the moment, just keep in mind the 9 grid layout when somebody comes to your feed, okay? Because even though you're posting one picture at a time and you only see the one picture, your ideal client that comes to your feed for the first time, they're going to be seeing the 9 grid layout. So it's really important that you stick with either your brand colors or a filter that's consistent with your layouts, or you keep also the perspective in mind, whether that be the X layout, whether that be, you take you take a picture where, you're out of the zoom and then the next one's like a selfie and then you do a detail shot of something. It's kind of hard to like randomly give like, these are like very baseline tips that I can give you for Instagram. I can go more in detail if any of you guys are watching the replay and if you have any questions regarding your niche or what have you. But when in doubt, do market research. Go see what other profiles that you love or you already follow, what are they doing that is capturing your attention so much? Because if it's capturing your attention, then you need to write down why it is. Is it the color of the photo? Is it the way they take their photos? Is it, the filter that they use or what have you? Make sure you write that down because that's where you get a lot of clarity and that's how you can become more consistent on Instagram. Is a lot of us just lack the clarity. We're kind of like, well, I don't know what I want. I don't know what they want. What do they want, right? But at the end of the day, there's no need to reinvent the wheel. All you have to do is go on the platform, spend the time, spend 30 minutes, spend an hour, spend 2 hours doing market research and seeing what other people are doing that actually works, right? Because there's no need for you to think about what is working and what isn't. And you can tell what your people like the best by what photos they like the most. So also keep that in account if you're trying to like move forward with a different strategy. Always remember that the people that follow you like you the most because they're following you, right? So whatever they like, and you know that they like it because they click the little heart button, right? Whatever they like, keep doing that, okay? It's not always about like what we like, it's what they like because they're the ones that essentially they're the ones that are giving us the engagement, okay? Hi, Emily, how are you? I'm kind of like done with this rant, but I'll wrap it back up since a couple of you guys are hopping on right now. So if you want to create a consistent feed on Instagram and make it beautiful and whatever, the first thing that you guys need to do is market research. You guys need to see what you already like, right? And it's not just you, it's what other people are liking too. So go find a couple people. It does not have to be in your niche. You just go to somebody's Instagram and you're like, wow, I love this feed, okay? Not picture, the feed. So when you go on their main profile and you see 9 pictures at a time, okay? You go to their feed and you're like, wow, I love this, okay? And then it's not enough to just say, I love it. Say, what do I like about it? Like, is it the way that they take their pictures? Is it the color scheme? Is it the way that I don't know. It could be, there's literally like, it could be the captions paired with the picture, whatever you like with what they are doing, write that down, okay? And you should find about, I would say between 5 to 10 profiles that you absolutely love. And then from there, you focus on the 2 tips that I just told you when it comes to creating a beautiful and consistent Instagram feed. And that is color and perspective. So color can be in forms of filter. It can be in the form of using your brand colors. And it can be so what I mean by filter and brand colors is like, you can have opaque pictures and make like the 9-grid perspective layout, or you can just do filters where it's like bright colors or like, the HDMR where it's like really bright and in your face. It doesn't always have to be a certain color when I say colors, okay? It can be the way that you filter pictures. So you want to focus on that along with perspective. So perspective on a 9-grid layout, you can have your Instagram make like an X figure. You can make it like, you can have just like every other box on the left-hand side be an opaque picture, or you can use it in the way that you actually take photos. So what I mean by that is you can have your camera like zoomed all the way in on one picture, and on the next picture you can be zoomed all the way out. And then on the following picture you can like take a selfie, and then the next picture can be, I don't know, you kind of like flip-flop between the 3 or 4 that you choose. And that'll make your feed visually appealing as well. Because remember, what we don't want to do, this is an example of not what to do. What you don't want to do is you don't want to always post selfie, 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 selfie with like the same, what do I want to say? You don't want to like keep posting selfies and then like with the same filter and be like, why are people not finding my Instagram visually appealing? And it's like, because you're literally posting the same type of picture every single time. Okay. You should be storytelling with your Instagram. And in order to do that, you can't be posting and be repetitive about the same picture. So yeah, that's really all that I have to say for today. I'm not really feeling that well, so I'm going to log off, which is why I'm in my bed. But if you guys loved this live stream, let me know in the comments. And if you guys have any questions about color or perspective or making your Instagram feed beautiful, let me know in the comments. But remember, when in doubt, just do market research. As creative entrepreneurs, we always want to be doing all the things, thinking all the things for ourselves all the time. But at the end of the day, the votes are already out there. People are already telling you what they like on other people's profiles. So just write down what you like about somebody else's profile that's already popular and then emulate that. So that's really the best advice that I can give. So I hope you guys have an amazing Monday, and I will see you tomorrow on the next live stream. Bye guys.